What's up guys, this is Braindose, and in this video I'm talking to you about how social media affects us, how my 3 weeks of no social media has been, and how you can separate yourself from the false reality that social media has brought to this generation. I was constantly checking my phone and it was becoming a problem. Check Twitter, close it, check Instagram, close it, check Snapchat, close it when I'm bored, and repeat the whole process over and over again and again till I'm in this zone where I'm so bored and lonely and more depressed, even more so than I was before I started this scrolling addiction. Before we start, give this video a thumbs up if you've been in a situation before where you're in an endless scroll that has you feeling down afterwards. You are the product of your thoughts. Your future, your attitude, your actions, and how you feel are all determined by what you think up here. Now let's put this into perspective. Social media became such a huge part of my life that every day I was thinking about it. So much of my energy was going toward checking on my feeds, checking Snapchat, checking Twitter, Instagram, and repeat the process over and over. And all my energy went to seeing what everybody was doing, and I wasn't doing anything. I was only checking and seeing what they're doing, and it really drained the energy out of me. And that's how I knew it was a full-on addiction. I didn't want to do anything about it, but I was in this cycle. If we're constantly seeing negative things and becoming jealous and constantly judging from behind the screen from these social apps, then that's what we're going to become. We're going to become judgmental. We're going to become negative. A negative mindset whenever things come up, the first thought's going to be negative instead of positive. And that's what seeing all this negative stuff is doing to our brains. It's changing how we think. It's changing the process of it. But the main goal for all these social platforms is attention. We seek attention. We crave likes and we crave positive comments. And while this is good, when we receive these good comments and likes and retweets and stuff, it's uplifting, it's motivating. There needs to be a limit on that. The main goal for all these social platforms is attention. We seek attention, we crave likes, we crave these positive comments, and we crave these retweets, these favorites. We do so much just to get these retweets, likes, favorites, comments. We do stuff that we would never do for these, and that's why it's becoming a problem. And while this is good that we receive positive comments, it's good that we receive likes and retweets because it's uplifting. It makes us more confident. There needs to be a limit on it, and there needs to be control on it. But to break this down, we crave this attention from social media because every time we receive a like or a good comment or retweet or favorite, our brain releases these small amounts of dopamine that has us feeling good, that has us feeling this surge of confidence in it, and that leaves us wanting more, so we keep doing this. This dopamine release from the brain is being abused because we're getting it the wrong way. There's no effort behind this dopamine release in our brain. There's no work behind it. It's just instant. It's instant attention that we can get. There's no work reward system that your brain needs for regulation. And when we can feel so good from something so simple and so fast, that makes it easy for it to become an addiction. Hence, social media is a drug. These apps make it so easy for us to put up a front for others to see. It makes it easy for us to look good on camera. But because this is so easy, because we're releasing all this dopamine without a real life human-to-human contact, we're limiting our potential to get out. We're limiting our potential to be social. And it makes it harder for us to enjoy a real life connection without our phones. See, humans need a face-to-face contact, relationship, feeling with other people in order to feel satisfied, in order to get rid of that lonely, depressed feeling that we've all felt. Social platforms are shortcuts that do not work. We're connecting without truly connecting to people, and in turn that leaves us feeling depressed, it leaves us feeling lonely. We're addicted to checking what people are saying or doing without even being with them. And that's the problem. We're seeing what everyone's doing from behind a screen. And a good thing to note to yourself is everything on the screen that you see is not as it seems. The social media has us feeling jealous, depressed, lonely because of what we see, and we start comparing ourselves to whoever's on the screen. And that's not right. We shouldn't do that because their life is not always as it seems. Just as you put out something to make yourself seem better, other people are too. So that's what we got to realize when we start to compare ourselves to people on social media, when we start to get these negative thoughts. The last time you went out, how many people were on their phones? How many people were checking Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat while already in the company of their friends? Now, I thought that was the point of these apps, was to get friends together, was to connect them in real life. But instead we're using it so much, we're abusing it so much, that we're constantly still using these apps in the presence of our friends. And that's not how it was meant to be used. By constantly being on these apps, it creates a need to be accepted by others. When we don't meet that need to be accepted, we start becoming people that we're not in order to fulfill that need to be accepted. We become somebody that we're not by putting up a front behind the screen. This affects you mentally. This affects your confidence in person. This affects who you think you are in person because of how much of a front you put up on your social platforms. We're thinking and becoming people that we're really not. And that's why it affects you when you're hanging out with people in person, when you're with somebody. That affects your mindset and makes you not want to go out. But that affects your ability to go out and create that dopamine the correct way, by human-to-human connection. Human-to-human connection requires work, requires planning, texting them, getting ready, meeting up with this person is the only true way to relieve this lonely feeling that you're feeling, this depressed feeling that you're feeling, that we've all felt. These apps take away our drive to go out and be with people because of the instant attention that we can easily get online. We try to substitute going out and getting that feeling, getting that feeling of attention, of connection. We try to substitute that with the app, and it doesn't work because it's not the same type of connection. We're connecting, like I said, without a connection. My first few days of having my social apps deleted was tough because of how much of a habit I formed to check these apps, to constantly check these apps. I would open my phone, I would try to find Twitter, Instagram. I only go on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I found myself looking through my phone, looking for them, totally forgetting that I deleted them. And this made me realize how addicted I actually was. I was unconsciously going to check these apps like I did every day. Here are some things that you're going to notice when deleting these apps, how to cope with them, and some tips on getting social media back when your break is over. 1. You're going to have more time on your hands. I found that I had a lot more time throughout my day because I wasn't scrolling endlessly. I woke up in the morning without anything to check, without having everybody's life on my mind, and it was honestly such a good feeling, such a freeing feeling to not have all that on your mind once you wake up. This freeing feeling also came from not feeling the need to Snapchat every single thing I was doing, because even though I like sharing my life with people, it gets annoying, it gets bothersome, it gets too much. It doesn't enable me to live in a moment. That's how I should put it. It doesn't enable me to live in a moment, and that's what we need to be doing. Because when we have constantly other things in our mind, other people's lives on our minds, we get tired, and that's part of the reason you're feeling tired and depressed, because you're constantly thinking about things you saw on social media or things you want to do for social media. My first step to avoid the thought of checking my phone was to replace all the extra time I had with something that would better myself. So I started lifting, I started doing push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, anything to keep me going. Now this is going to be different for a lot of people. You may like to draw, you may like to read, you may like to play an instrument, you may like to insert any hobby that you like to do. Or more importantly, you may go hang out with people and fulfill that connection and attention that we all crave. But once you replace all your time with things that are bettering yourself, your brain's going to start to rewire. Your brain's going to start to get back on that reward system, work reward system, for you to feel better. And that's soon going to diminish the need for online acceptance. 2, dose. Feelings of missing out. See, this is not going to be easy at first, because I found myself feeling lonely, feeling like I'm missing out on something, because my brain was so used to checking on everybody's every move all the time, constantly updating my Twitter feed, seeing what they're doing, checking my Snapchat to see what they're doing. I feel like you're missing out on something, but remind yourself that it's okay not to be checking on what everyone's doing. This gives you more time to focus on what you should be doing and things that you could be doing to better yourself. 3, after your break, use social media to connect with people in person. Avoid an addiction relapse by not constantly checking everything. Need self-control. That's the most important thing with this. After my 3 weeks, I decided to get Instagram back because I like to share my positive experiences on it, and I feel like Instagram is a positive outlet for me. That's how I should put it. But I didn't get Twitter back because I see so much negativity on there, see so much judgment on there, that it's just putting negative thoughts in my brain, unnecessary negative thoughts in my brain that I don't need to see. So I'm not going to put myself back in a situation like that. 4, careful who you follow. After your break, rethink and check who you follow. Check your social feed. Ask yourself, who's posting negative things? Who's making me feel jealous? Who's not making this app a positive experience for me? And delete those people. I believe everybody who shows any signs of addiction towards social media, anybody who feels it's affecting them in any way should take a break, because this was such a good break for me. It broke my addiction of constantly scrolling, of getting in that zone of boredom, of loneliness. And I feel like this would be good for you too. Take this information, process it, and realize that social media, just because everybody's doing it, does not make it okay, does not make it healthy. And that's what the biggest thing in this generation is off about, is we tend to accept ourselves and accept our actions because everybody else is doing the same thing. So hey, it's okay for me to do this. Well, it's not. Everybody's different. Everybody's brain's different. We all work differently, and this is not for everybody. But the main point was we need control. We need a positive outlet, not something that's going to be putting constant negative thoughts in our mind. Anyway, guys, this has been a real talk. Thank you for listening. Let me know down in the comment section below if you're addicted to social media or not, if you find that it's a problem or not, how you cope with it, or anything you guys want to tell me. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Thank you guys for watching the video. This channel, I'm going to be doing a lot of sharing of what I learn, of my knowledge, and I hope that you guys can take away stuff from what I'm learning, because I'm going through this. I'm living day by day. I'm learning day by day, and I want to share what I learn, so hopefully it'll help people in the same situation as me. But this channel, I'm going to be doing a lot of challenges. I got a 30-day push-up challenge. It's 300 push-ups a day for 30 days. I'm going to be uploading that. I'll be done with that in about half a month. And yeah, you guys stay tuned for challenges, for my life updates and everything, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks, guys.